Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Alan Harper, your Secure Vibe Coder. We are here for another live Secure Vibe coding session. Tonight's going to be an exciting night, and we are going to launch this thing live and get it up working in Vercel. And we're going to have a URL, hopefully, prayerfully, at the end of this session. But if we don't, then we'll try again tomorrow. All right. So we are building this app called User Vibes OS. And the purpose of this app is to collect vibes from the user throughout the user journey lifecycle. So I believe firmly that all developers deserve a little simple widget that they can drop into their site and allow them to catch these signals that are coming off from the user. Things like, for example, feedback from the user by way of feature requests and bug reports. Okay, and we have other things that we're going to build too, but we've been focusing on this feedback module and we have it working now. And we're almost got it to the point where we can start selling it. We've been at this about 30 hours. This is our 23rd session, I think, something like that. Losing track. And we're having a lot of fun. And so tonight, like I said, we're going to deploy this system and get it live in production. All right, so how do we do that? Well, the first thing we do is we come in here and we talk to Claude Code and we tell Claude Code, hey, give me a step-by-step procedures to deploy a production instance to Clerk, Convex, and Vercel. Evaluate all of our install instructions in the readme.me and also the convex llms.txt file. Hey, if you've joined me, go ahead and drop a hello in the chat here. Let me know you're here. I'd appreciate it. Tell me where you're from. All right, so once again, tonight we are going to deploy our app. So it's an exciting day that you joined us. This is the first time I've ever tried to do this live, so we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go well, we'll try again tomorrow, I guess. But tonight we're going to learn a lot and we're going to deploy this both in production. Hey, 3Ds. Hey, no worries. Glad to have you back. You picked a good night to join. We're going to deploy this thing, okay? And like I said, we're going to deploy it on Convex, on Clerk, and on Vercel in production environments. Because of that, there'll be times when I have to like fuzz the screen out because we're going to be dealing with keys and stuff. And I can't have you guys hack me that easy. So we'll see how we do with that. If I screw it up, then I'll just come back and change the keys later. How's that? Okay, so here we go. The first thing I did was I dropped into my Claude Code and I told it to give me instructions. Hey, 3Ds, how's the music level out there? I've been playing with it lately. I just want to make sure that it's good. Okay, so the first thing I did was I give it these instructions to go ahead and help me. So it's going to go out and read the README, because in the README we have a deployment section that actually refers to this deployment doc that you get as part of the Secure Vibe Coding OS. Go back and watch the second video for all of that. I'm not going to go into it tonight. But just suffice it to say, I give you a secure baseline, like a starter. I get you a really good start. Okay, all right. That's interesting. So you don't hear the music. Yeah, it definitely should be coming through. All right, let me check something here. Turn your volume up. See if it's a volume issue. Maybe I've just got it too low. Yeah, it's definitely playing. Can anyone else hear the music? All right, I'm going to keep moving here. All right. So what I did was I told it to give us some instructions here, okay? So I'm going to kind of make this a little more space for us. Really don't need what's up here in the deployment guide. But what I was pointing out is in the deployment guide, I've got like a 2-tier deployment guide and a 3-tiered. If you're going for like a big app with lots of people, like lots of developers, you probably want a 3-tier. But we're just like solo devs here. So we're going to go with the 2-tier. Okay. Very soft. Okay, all right. Well, at least it is coming through. Let me bump it up just a notch. Okay. All right. So there we go. All right. So here we go. Now, what's exciting here is that we have a step-by-step process that we're going to follow that Claude Code gave us. Okay, so the first part here, it says you have to have these prerequisites, which I do. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Clerk and we're going to create a production instance. So we're going to follow this step by step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate this tab and I'm going to drag it down to here. Just so we can kind of keep it on the same screen. Okay, let's see if how we can figure this out here. Okay, like that. All right. Okay. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we come back into our Clerk dashboard here. And we did this way back like on first or second session. I can't even remember. But you notice that we've been working off a deployment setting here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we've selected our app. It's User Vibes OS. It actually is an S in here now, but that's okay. And what we're going to do then, and let's see how easy. Now I don't even want to mess with changing the name of it right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select your app and we're going to click deployment toggle and we're going to switch this to create a production instance. Okay, now we have a choice here. We can clone our development instance. That's what we want to do because we already have some settings in here that we want to keep. Okay, like our subscriptions and all that stuff should carry over. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hit continue here. That's going to ask us for a name. So we're going to say user vibes os.com. Now I own that domain. I also own .ai, but we'll go ahead and set up the .com to start with, and we'll go ahead and create an instance. Yeah, hey Joe, I think I have used that app. I think I used to be a client. It looks familiar, and you look familiar. All right. So, all right. Now, yeah, it figures because I was playing around with this earlier today, so it says it already has that. So we'll go ahead and use the AI tonight. Now, what I don't like about this already is that I'm just thinking this through. Yeah. Okay. We'll go ahead and give it this for right now because again, I own that app. I own that one as well. Okay. All right. I hope we're not getting in trouble right off the bat. We'll find out. All right. So then what we do is it says to, all right, switch to the production key top. We've done that. Our API keys is what we want. We want to go over here to the configure now. Okay, and we want to go down to our API keys. Okay, and what we need are these two keys here. This one's public, so it's publishable, so it's not a problem. This one's secret, okay, so we're going to keep it masked. All right, I'm going to copy that because we need that. Okay, and I'm going to put that off screen right now in another session or just a notepad so I have it so we can get it later. Okay. All right. So we've got that step done. All right. Now we also need this. We need this public API URL right here. Clerk. So I'm going to take that and put that up here as well. Okay. And okay, so that's the front end. API URL. Just making a note where I put that. Okay. All right, so we're done with step 2 here. Let's go to step 3. Configure the production domain. So over in the sidebar, we have domains, and we're going to put this right here, add a domain. Okay, and let's see, did I click on the right thing? Sidebar domains, add this or the custom domain. Now I don't see an add button over here. Let's look. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. Let's see here. What am I getting wrong here? Okay. Or custom domain. What's using, I think, is the custom domain, but where? No, we shouldn't have to do that. All right, we're going to skip that step for now. It may haunt us. Okay. All right, so we'll remember that step right there was not possible. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our OAuth providers. We're not going to actually set up the social logins tonight because we'll do that like another night. So we'll just use email and password for now. And what I do want to do, though, is set up the Stripe. All right, so in order to do that, what we'll do is we'll come back to here. Okay, and we will set up our Stripe. You know, here it is right here, connect domains. Now it took us into the same spot. Okay, all right. We'll go back here to the overview and we'll set up the Stripe. And what I'm going to do, it's going to probably have me log in, so just bear with me. What I'm going to do then is just fuzz this out for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, you can still somewhat see it, but I've taken some protection here. Okay, and stop sharing, replace screen. Okay. Just bear with me while I'm just connecting my Stripe account. I have lots of Stripe accounts, as you probably do as well. Okay, bear with me. Well, that's not good, guys. It's not letting me log into my Stripe account. Man, we're not having much luck tonight. Just bear with me. I'll figure it out. Okay. All right, maybe we'll proceed without the Stripe for a moment. Okay, let me switch back to here. Okay. All right, so we're going to skip the Stripe step too. So that means we won't be able to collect any credit cards till we sort that out. All right, and then we're going to deploy the certificates. So dashboard home, complete all checklist items, and deploy the certificates. Uh-oh, don't tell me it won't let us proceed until we do that. Let's see here. Waiting for your deployment. I don't think it's going to let us deploy this app until we do all three of these. I'll be darned. Okay, I know I can do that one, but it's not letting me log into my Stripe account. That's going to be a problem. This one I could set up, just wasn't planning on going through that tonight. Ooh. I don't like that sound. Hold on. All right. Hey, Bhavya. Never coded in my life. I had to start. What would be an ideal start for me? Follow along with me. We're not doing any coding here. We're letting AI do the coding. We are vibe coding here, but we are doing secure vibe coding. All right. And it's a journey and there's a lot to learn. You can check out my free mentoring group up there with the QR code, also the link in the description. And you can join my free mentoring. Inside of there, you'll learn about vibe coding. You also get access to my secure vibe coding masterclass within my group there. So go ahead and check all that out inside of there. All right, guys. Well, look, I think we might have to nosedive and figure this stuff out before we can proceed. I really wasn't planning on all that tonight, but I think we're not going to have a choice. All right, so part of this is going to be that we're going to have to set up the OAuth credentials. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can turn off email, or let's see if I can just disable the Google one for now and maybe bypass this. Enables for sign up and sign in. Let me go ahead and turn this off and see if we get lucky. Allow users to sign up and sign into your application. Otherwise, users will be able to connect. Yeah. What if we disabled this? Disable connection. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm cool with it just doing, we can do that later. I'm cool with it just doing email. Okay, good. All right, we're down to two things that we have to set up. I still need to be able to log in with my Stripe. Okay, give me a second here. Let me fuzz this one more time. Okay. Let me reset my password on my Stripe. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Got a code to reset my password. Okay. Okay, just put code into my Stripe. All right. Okay. All right, now once we get inside of the stripe, okay, I see 2 keys here. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay. Okay. Okay, all of that looks good. All right, bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. Was not anticipating this, but this is life. This is what happens. All right, open. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm making progress. Okay, continue activating. Hmm. Okay, I'm having to put in like my tax ID and all that, guys. Good night. But I'm doing it. Okay, now I'm putting in my bank information. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing all this tonight, but hey, we have to do this before we progress, before I can show you anything. So off we go. All right, if you joined us, I'm in the process of adding credit card information and bank information for Stripe account, which obviously I can't share. So just bear with me a few more minutes. Believe it or not, I'm authenticating with my bank right now. So Okay, got my bank account linked. Gosh, that's painful. I don't know if you guys ever set up a Stripe account. I have like a dozen of them, but each time you have to go through this. And I thought I could select an existing one, but no. Now it's asking me if I want to give a contribution to the planet for a green initiative. No. Okay. Okay. Agree and submit. Oh my goodness. All right, so hold on. Now I have to upload an image of my driver's license. Give me a second. Unbelievable. Don't ever try this at home, kids. I'll be right back. Let me get my driver's license. Okay, I got the front of my driver's license. Now I'm getting the back. Okay, submitted all that. And lo and behold, we should have our Stripe connected. Okay. 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 Believe it or not, I think we're done. Unbelievable. Let me just clean up my desktop here and share again. Oh, man. Painful. Okay. Okay. I was not expecting to have to do all that tonight. But anyway, that's what happens when you try live TV, folks. All right. So we have Stripe configured now, and we have Clerk set up in a production environment. Oh my goodness. All right. So, yep. And we have these keys right here. Let me just check that I copied those. Yep. I don't think, let's see here. Okay. So what we had to do was hit the deploy button, and I don't think we ever got that far. Okay. Deploy certificates. Okay. Hold on. There was one other thing. Okay. Now we got to connect the domains. All right. So this I know how to do. Okay. All right. So what we do is go to my provider for the domains. Let me get that up, and then I'll bring it back because I don't mind showing you guys how to do the DNS entries. But I have lots of domains, so I don't want you seeing all of those. So give me a second. I've got like 50 plus domains. No reason. I just get an idea and I think, hey, that'd be a cool domain. And then I sit on it and I should let them go. Never sold one. Should. Okay. All right. All right, so now I'm getting to the DNS records. Okay. All right, now I'm going to bring this back on screen because I don't mind showing you guys this. Where's my other screen? Okay. Where did that screen go? Okay, there it is. Where's the other one? Okay. This is insane. Okay, finally. So here's how you set up DNS records for the couple people who are left. All right, here we go. All right, so what Stripe or what Clerk is telling us, I have my DNS settings up here for that actual domain, uservibes.os.ai. So here's how you do it, guys. You go into the settings here, and it's telling us exactly what to do. So we have to add a CNAME record for Clerk and point it to this. So I'll copy this. Okay, I come over here and I go Clerk. I put a CNAME in for Clerk. And then the answer is this right here. Okay, so I hit add. All right. Then that's one down. Then I hit the next one here. I have to put a CNAME in for accounts, and I need to copy this one and do that. Add a record. Oh, CNAME. Okay. All right, now I have to put another CNAME record in for each of these three. So Clark Mail, CLK Mail gets this one. Okay. CLK dot underscore domain. Let's go ahead and just copy that over because I know I'll mess that up. It gets this one. All right. And then we've got this one. Last one. Put that in. Okay, so these are our email routing for Clerk so that, our users get actual emails from us that says, welcome to, User Vibes OS. And it has to relay through our domain. And so that's what this is allowing it to do. All right, so these are harmless. These are just DNS records. You could find these by just doing a DNS lookup. So I don't mind showing you these. All right, so then what we do is we got all those in. We have to hit the verify. Okay, so now 5 out of 5 are verified. Okay, so we are done. Okay, so now what we should be able to do is go back to the domain or the overview, and we should see okay, there's still something here. What is it saying to do? This is optional, so we're not going to set the proxy. Okay, I think it's doing this right here. It's issuing the SSL certificates. I hope that's what it's doing. All right, so let's just let that run. It looks like Clerk is going to be the most painful thing to do to get it into production. I don't think Convex is going to be near as difficult. Looking at the steps before this, there's just a few of them. And I know we don't have to do all this verification. And the reason why they do all this is because, this is where the money's collected. So they have to figure out okay, where do you want this money to go? And that's what the Stripe stuff's about. And that's what complicated things. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's still doing that. I'm looking for a deploy button. And it looks like it's not going to do that until these certificates are up. Okay, let's move on to the other steps and come back and check on that in a moment. Okay, yeah, we need this deploy certificates. Okay, it looks like it automatically deployed the certificates. But anyway, let's just let that run. Oh my goodness. All right, part two, Convex production deployment. Okay, now we go to the Convex dashboard and we select project settings and deploy keys. Okay. Okay, we come in here. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go up here and hit and select a production environment. Okay. All right, so we are on the, no, it didn't do it. Okay, follow the instructions, Alan. Production deploy keys. Okay. Generate a production. Okay, that's what we have to do. Yep, generate a production deploy key. Save it, copy it and save it immediately. Show only once. Okay, all right. Let me go do that. I'm gonna generate this key. Okay, I see it. Okay, copy that off screen. Okay, let's see where we're at in the instructions. Okay, cool. All right, let me bring back the share screen. Okay. All right, so we've done this step right here where we generate the production deployment key. Now what we do is we go into our Vercel configuration. Okay. That was actually pretty simple. The only thing we needed was a production deploy key from Convex, apparently. Okay. All right. We'll see here in a moment. Let's see how those keys are doing. Okay. Certificates are issued. Okay. So this thing, I think, is ready to rock and roll here in terms of clerk. That's encouraging. Okay. And we've got our deploy key. So now let's continue with the steps here. We go to Vercel and we're going to import a project. Okay, let me log into my Vercel. I have other things going on in there, so I want to make sure we get to the right spot. Be right back. Add a new project. Okay, add a new project, import configure. Okay. All right, let me share the screen again. So what happens is when you come in Vercel, okay, so what it's doing is it's importing from my GitHub, okay, and it's going into my projects, okay, and then I just hit deploy here. Okay, this just takes a moment. It's basically building that system. That's going to have errors. I expect it to fail. That's fine because we don't have all the environmental variables in it yet. We probably could have added them right here before I hit the deploy button if I was thinking about it. Okay. Okay, let's see what the other steps were here. Okay. All right, so now we have these keys right here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these keys in as soon as it comes up here. It's still acting like it's deploying. It usually takes like 2 minutes to deploy. Okay, here we go. I've got buttons now. All right, so I have these keys, but obviously I'm not going to show them here. But what I'm going to do off screen is I'm going to go ahead and add these into the environmental variables. And I'll show you where you do that. You do it right here under the environmental variables. Okay, and you just copy paste. You actually just get in here and you copy paste the key and the equals and the value, and it'll automatically put them both in. And then you just add more. Okay, and the key thing is that you want to make sure that you tell it to put it into the production. But at this point, we only have one build, so it's going to make it production. All right, so I'm going to do this off screen. Okay, and I'm keeping this up down here so you guys can see the keys that are actually the names of the keys, at least, that are going in. All right, so let me take this right here. Okay, putting that one in. Okay. All right, so that one's in, the first one here. This next two, we have those. That was the first things we copied. I'll put them in. Until you get these in, this thing's not going to boot up. It's going to have errors. Okay, so this one right here, I'll put in. User Vibes OS. It's our public site name. Okay, and then what we need right here are these CSRF secrets. Okay, and I need 2 of them. Now the best way to get those is to go back to our environmental local file, which I have instructions in here. You'll recall from like the second session, and you notice I'm masking all of these, but those were just for my local system anyway, and I'm going to change those. But here's the instruction right here. So I need to take this command right here, and I need to run it. Okay, so I need to run it twice, and so I'm going to do that right here. Okay, I just got a command shell up over here. Okay, there's the first one. Okay, I did that off screen. No worries. Okay, so there's the first key. And it is called CSRF. This is our cross-site request forgery secret. This is part of our security settings. CSRF secret. Okay, and one more. Session secret. Okay. Put that one in. Okay. All right. So those environmental variables are in, and we also need these right here. Those are required as well. These are redirects after the clerk signs in. We want it to go to the back-end dashboard. Okay. And let me hit the deploy button over here. See if we get any luck. Okay. Seems to me like we had another key. This front end, where does it go? Oh, I think it's used in this JWT. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we still need to set up the JWT token, and I'm pretty sure that was one of the steps coming up. Okay, so we have set up okay. All right, here we go. So we have set up all of these right now. And what we need to do is, okay, we've done that. Now I'm just looking at the logs. Okay, it got an error, but that's okay. That's because the convex stuff's not working. Okay, but what I'm looking for is a run URL, and I'm not seeing it. Okay. Production hosting. Okay. All right, let's see what the next step is here. Get the convex production URL. Okay, we've got that. Inside of the convex dashboard. Okay, bring this back in. Let me get my instructions back up. Convex dashboard, select your environment. There's our production URL. Okay, how do we get to that? Here it is right here, deployment URL. Convex cloud. It should end with, oh, it should end with convex site. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. So let me copy that. Then what I need to do is come back over to Clerk, and I need to add an endpoint for the webhooks. Okay, so I'm going to leave that and come back over to Clerk. And we need to set up a webhook. You'll remember we did this on the second day. So add an endpoint. We put this in. Okay, hey 3Ds, appreciate you. You come back tomorrow, hopefully this thing will be working. Otherwise, we'll keep troubleshooting. Hey, thanks for hanging in there. All right, who else do I still have on here? Drop me a note, tell me you're here. Okay, and what we need to do is we put that URL in. And now what we're going to do is come over here, Clerk users webhook. We have to put that on the end of it. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to pick up the payment attempt updated, and then these 3 user create, deleted, and updated. Okay. Man. Okay, user created, deleted, updated. Okay, and then we want to create that, and then we're going to want to save that signing cert. So before it even comes up on the screen, I'm going to go ahead and move that off, hit create. Okay, and we need this signing cert. Okay, and that signing cert goes to the Convex dashboard production environment. Okay, we have to go into the environmental variables and we need to add that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Environmental variables. Yep. Okay, I just put that in. And we need one more. We need this key, or we need this value as well, which is the okay. And that is the Clerk front end API URL, which we also have. And where was that? Okay. Front-end API URL. I don't like how it's saying that that's .dev. It should be not .dev. But I think that might be a mistake. Okay, in the development environment, it was .dev, but now it's convex.site. No, that's not right. It's the Clerk front-end API URL. This is a Clerk. Okay. Give me a second. Let me find that. Okay. It's the clerk front end API URL that we're looking for. And let's see where that's at. Billing. Ah, okay, found it. Okay. It was over here. Let me pull this back down. It's right here. Okay, so we copy that and put that in the environmental variable and hit save. Okay. All right, so we got those set up now. Okay, so we've done all these steps down here. Now, what we should be able to do is boot this thing again and see what happens. And if it doesn't boot, that's okay. We will come back tomorrow and finish troubleshooting this thing. So let's, here was the last time it booted, it gave us an error. And what we're gonna do is try it again. Deploy. Okay. An error occurred, pre-rendering page embed. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this error and I'm going to give it to Claude Code. See what's going on here. pick that. Okay, I attempted to install this up in Vercel, and I've set up all the variables and such over on Clerk and Convex, but I'm getting this build error. Debug this. Oh, you know what? We didn't run this. Okay, hold on. That wasn't in the instructions, though. I think we need to run that once. Remember reading that. Where was that at? I thought there was a command that we were supposed to issue right here. Tag on it. We didn't, I didn't run this command. That's the problem. Okay, so let me run it now. Okay. You want to push your code to production? Yes. Okay. Okay, so that was a step that I missed. All right, so with a little luck here, this thing will boot now. Okay, it's still building here. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, that's good. It's pushing all the indexes and everything up to convex. That's real good. That's encouraging. Okay. Says we can see the progress. Well, it looks like it's done. Okay, so we deployed that. Now let's hit the deploy button over here and see what we get. Okay. Okay, with a little luck, we won't get those build errors. I'm going to go back here and see what Claude Code was telling us before I interrupted it. It was trying to fix the embed page, but I'm not so sure that was needed because I'd forgotten that command. So let me just let this thing run. Oh, okay. Pre-rendering. Yeah, okay. So maybe it was needed. No address provided. Okay, so we got that same build error. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and push this code up to fix that forced dynamic rendering for the embed page. Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay, it says it should succeed now. All right, well, let's see. Now, the one thing I don't know is, like, we just pushed new code up. I don't think we can just hit the deploy here again because it's still on the old project. I could be wrong about that. Let me try it again. It's working off of this commit, DA06. And the commit that we have is DA06. Okay, we're good. It's using the latest push to GitHub. That's what we want to see. Okay, so we should be able to iterate on this, even if there's an error, a different error here, then that's progress, and then we can go from there. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. All right, if you're joining us, this has been a painful, boring, and tedious, probably session, but actually you needed to see how it's done. It would have been much easier had I not been trying to do it live because I was trying to, move things off screen and it slowed things down. But anyway, I think you got a good feel for how you actually take a site production to production and make it go live. So now with a little luck here, it is compiling. Hopefully it will boot. Okay, here we go. That's a good sign when it usually gets that far. Now, fingers crossed. Come on, man, boot. Okay, build's completed. Okay, I think it's looking good. Oh, yep, great. Okay. All right, guys, we have a live web page. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see it. Let's see it. We can continue to our dashboard. This is our dashboard here. We can put a real domain on it, but right now this is the domain. And I don't think it's going to let us log in yet because, that's not the domain we put in way back on one of the other sites. But let's see what we got. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, I think it's not going to let us boot, but I don't think it's going to let us log in, but that's okay. We can work on that tomorrow. Yeah, see how that's not loading? Yeah, I didn't think so. And I think it's because of the domain that we have set here. I think we told it something different. But that's okay. We've got progress here and we can work with this. We can troubleshoot this tomorrow. All right, guys. Hey, this has been a crazy session. A lot more difficult than I thought it would be trying to do it live. I mean, I've taken lots of sites to production before, but doing it live and trying to switch off screen to put my credit card and stuff in, it was not fun. So, but I think we did it. I don't think I doxed myself too bad. And I think we definitely have a live up and running site. You just can't log into it yet. So this is the URL. And tomorrow we'll work on like fixing this and getting it all working. Okay, so join back tomorrow at tomorrow it'll be at 8:30. We're going to go just a little bit later at 8:30, and I have something going on earlier. So 8:30 New York time is when I'll be joining. Anybody want to drop me a comment or say hi or anything before we drop off of here? Okay, guys. All right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging in there. I really appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Until then, be blessed by the best.